Hi everyone, I'm Fry from Green Salon Collective. We have a new service to introduce to you all today. We have Chantel from Eco Offset, and we're going to be talking about offsetting your staff to become carbon neutral. As you know, our four services at the moment are recycling, education, accreditation, and our research and development. So we're really excited to be able to offer carbon offsetting as well. So before we get into that, if we could just have a few words from you, Chantel, just tell us a little bit about yourself and yeah, how you came to be involved with this project.
Yeah, brilliant. Thank you. So yeah, I'm Chantel. I'm the founder of Eco Offset, and we're an environmental consultancy firm. So we've been around for almost 2 years now, and we focus on measuring carbon footprints of businesses, individuals, pets even. But in this instance, we've been looking at the carbon footprint of a salon or a freelancer. So what we try to do is we measure footprints, we look at crucially how we can reduce them, and then we look at how we can offset, which makes you carbon neutral. So when we saw what work the Green Salon Collective were doing, we obviously spoke to you, Fry, and we're very excited and wanted to see how we could get involved. And this is how we've come to this point. So we've worked through how we can make stylists and salons carbon neutral, and that's going to be the new thing now.
Yeah, that's awesome. Just before we get into that, just to sort of take a step back, because carbon neutral and carbon negative and carbon is a word that is in the news a lot, which is good. But what does that actually mean? What is it that we're actually offsetting?
Yeah, so it is all about carbon, isn't it? That's all we ever seem to talk about. So the reason that we're so interested in carbon is because CO2 and other cumulative greenhouse gases, they're what's causing the climate crisis. So we've increased our footprint as a human race by around 11 times just since 1945. So that's a huge amount of greenhouse gases that we've pumped out, mainly because we've become more industrialized and we've got more factories and cars and planes. And because of that, the carbon in the atmosphere is causing heating, it's causing the temperatures to rise, which is causing a lot of extreme weather. We've seen that there's been a lot of floods this year. There's a lot of drought as well, conversely in Africa, and that all causes things like crop failures, water levels rising, and you'll have seen massive impacts on wildlife. So polar bears are a huge species that are being affected. And to stop that, what we need to do is reduce our carbon footprint by around 45% in the next 10 years, which is a big ask. And that's why we're focusing on businesses and governments and countries, because when we reduce our carbon footprint at that level, we have a really big impact and we can make a much quicker change.
Okay, so how then have you sort of worked out how much carbon the average hairdresser would use or get through, or whatever the right term is there?
Yeah, well, we had some amazing help from Green Salon members. So what we did, because it is quite complex to work out an individual footprint for each business, and we know that some of you won't want to do that, what we've done is we've tried to get a really good picture of what the average salon and what the average freelancer would produce in their day-to-day businesses. So we all have a personal carbon footprint, and that's around 13 tons. But when you're at work, so if you're using the hairdryer, if you're producing waste from foils and chemicals, we've looked at all of that and the energy that's used, and it works out at around 2 tons per stylist. So if you're a freelancer, your business carbon footprint on average is 2 tons. And if you're a salon, for each team member within the salon, you're looking at around 2 tons of carbon emissions for everybody that works there. So you can offset people's personal footprints as well, but for this, we're really focusing on what is your day-to-day action producing. So we've got an average, we're quite confident with it. Obviously, if you want a bespoke carbon footprint for your salon or for yourself as a freelancer, that is a service that we can offer as well. But for this, to get as many people involved as possible and make as big an impact together, we've gone with a really solid average, and we've taken a good cross-section of salons to produce that.
Yeah. So, because essentially every action will have a reaction. So no matter how sustainable you believe your salon to be, you're still going to have some form of carbon footprint, aren't you? And the offsetting program is not to sort of just cover your business. There's other things that you should do before you get to the carbon offsetting. Would that be right to say?
It is, yeah. So we've tried to do that step for you all. So we've looked at what your footprint usually is, because you can't really offset unless you really know what that is or what the average is. But the first thing you should be thinking about is how you reduce. So offsetting is a fantastic tool. It's a way to really balance out what you're producing, and it's a way for you to take responsibility today for what you're actually doing with your business. But we want that to be accompanied by a reduction plan. So whether that's really basic things like turning the lights off when you leave the salon at night, or making sure that you don't have any plastic in the salon, up to big things like, can you get an air source heat pump? Can you put solar panels on the roof? So those are big ticket items, but those are things that you need to think about, you need to plan. So carbon offsetting is a way for you to take some good action today, offset what you're doing while you reduce as you go. And one of the best things you can do to reduce, because it's such a big area in the stylist world, is to make sure your waste is being taken away and recycled and handled properly, which obviously is where you come in from.
Yeah. And how do you actually offset it, Chantal? Like, what do you actually do, and what sort of organisations do you use to actually facilitate the offsetting?
So there's different types of projects, and it depends what's available and how much of it at any one time. So one of the projects that we like to use is one that protects areas of the Amazon rainforest. And in this particular area, there's around 10% of the global population of the orangutans in the whole world. So how that works is that if you offset your carbon footprint, you're basically paying to offset your emissions, and that money goes to the person that owns that land. And that means that they don't have to sell to a logging company or to a company that wants to raise it all down and use it to graze cattle. So you're investing and enabling them to protect that area. And it could be the same if it was solar panels or hydropower. The money that you put in enables that technology to be built, to be installed. So you're contributing to a solution that removes carbon or protects a carbon store, and that balances out what you're emitting at the moment.
And what would the salon or the freelancer sort of receive back to show what they've been involved in with the offsetting?
Yeah, so this is the key part. When you do this, if you choose to go ahead with it, you want to tell your clients about it, because people want to work with salons and stylists and any sort of business that are taking really good environmental action, because you know yourself, right, when clients and salons join up to Green Salon Collective, they see an influx of new clients because people are dead excited and they want to support a sustainable business. So what you will get is you will get a certificate from the project itself, so your official certificate from the United Nations or another auditing company is called the Gold Standard. So it depends what projects we go for. You'll receive an official certificate with your company name on. You'll get a certificate from us, which is a bit more fluffy, and it's got Green Salon on it too. So that's something that you might want to put on social media. And you'll also get pictures of the actual project that you've offset in. So if it's the orangutan one, for example, you get some great pictures and stats about the animals that live and what you're contributing to. And you'll also get confirmation that for every ton that you offset with us, we also plant a tree for you free of charge. So you'll get confirmation of how many trees have been planted in your name as well.
Yeah, that's awesome. They get quite a lot, I guess, don't they, for that? One of the things that I know had sort of some people are cautious of with this type of thing is the cost, because when you're talking about these projects, they can be thousands and thousands of pounds. What does it look like roughly for a salon or a freelancer? Are we talking thousands of pounds for this type of thing?
No, it's really, really cost effective. And I think that's one of the things when you think, oh, we want to go carbon neutral or we want to be more sustainable. It feels like it's going to be really expensive, but it's really cost effective for even good quality projects. So they can range from around £10 a tonne up to 40, £100 a tonne, depending on what you look at. But we've gone for the middle of the road, so really high quality projects that aren't going to outprice them. So it's £10 a tonne to offset, and you're only offsetting 2 tonnes for each team member that you've got. So if you're a freelancer, it's £20 to be able to say that you've offset your business activities. So it's really cost effective. You'll get all the benefits of being able to talk to your clients about what you've done and show them how committed you are. And alongside the recycling services where you've got your green fee, you're going to manage to do all of this and get a really good sustainability strategy in place for next to nothing, really.
That's amazing. So if you're a freelancer or just for one of your stylists, that £20 covers you for a whole year?
For the year, yeah. So you need to be offsetting for a full 12 months, and then you would go into that cycle again. So how we did the calculations is we took a cross section of salons, looked at their data from a previous year, and that's how you look at what your emissions are. So you would need to then do that again in 2023.
Yeah, that's awesome. It sounds like a bit of a no-brainer, really, doesn't it? When you're talking like £20 per stylist for the whole year. So how do they actually do this then? What's the best way for them to sign up to this system?
So you go on the Green Salon Collective website. So where you've got all of the different solutions that you offer, so the accreditation, the waste, the recycling, will be on there under carbon offsetting. And you click through there, it will take you out to our website, and then we will do everything for the salon. You'll get all of your certificates direct from us, usually within 48 hours, and then you'll be ready to go. And I think what is going to be really helpful for you, because it isn't just offsetting and you're done, this is a good place to start, gets you on your reduction journey. And what we're going to do is make sure we've got training coming up. So we'll do a webinar, we'll send out blog posts just to keep you on that journey of, if you're offsetting today, what can you reduce? And if you don't offset anything, you've really reduced your emissions to as much as possible, and we'll help you with that between us and Green Salon.
Yeah, that's awesome. That sounds really good, Chantal, and it sounds really simple. And you explained that really well. Is there any final words on why a salon or a freelancer should do this?
It's the right thing to do, which we all know that, you know, we want to do the right thing, and it's a great thing to be able to invest and support projects that give people better lives. It reduces carbon, it improves wildlife and habitats as well. But it's a really good thing to do for your business. People want to work with green and sustainable businesses, and if you can tell your clients what you're doing and really demonstrate that actually, yes, we know we've got an impact and we're going to do something about it, you're going to get new clients, you're going to retain clients, and it opens you up to a whole new section of customers whose values are going to align with yours. So it's a great thing to do, and get started. We're going to try and make it as easy as possible for you to do this, and we'll lots of support for you along the way. That's awesome. Thanks, Chantal. So yeah, anyone who's watching along this video, if you're on Instagram, there'll be a link in the bio that will take you to that, or on our website, greensalonccollective.com. It will be under the section What We Do, and you just click on offsetting and all the details will be there.